Baton Rouge, Baton, come on. Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. Hi, Jeannie.
Hey,
Welcome
Henry.
to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Waiting on this moment for a couple of weeks.
Oh, I was excited to hear you were coming too.
This is very exciting for me because I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh my gosh, likewise.
So, I mean, I know the museum as a whole has an ultimate footprint. It's a huge footprint on the west side of the river. But I know that those kind of things, I know from experience with my nonprofit and different things, those kind of things don't happen without somebody doing some serious programming and without somebody doing some serious fundraising and finding all the money and resources and all that stuff. What is your role in that? What do you do?
Oh my gosh, well, I'm the director of programs and partnerships, and I'm fortunate to work with a really great team of people here in this building at the museum, but also in the local community as well. We write a whole lot of grants to provide as many of these arts opportunities free to the public. I mean, occasionally there's a cost for some things, but we do our best to bring, live musical entertainment and, folk art demonstrations and workshops and so forth as much as we can at a reasonable cost to free. We're also the anchor for the Port Allen Cultural District. So in 2019, we were recognized by the state of Louisiana as a cultural district just because this area is just thriving. I think when I dropped off my application to the state, I just said we were brimming with culture on the west side. So,
and it's true.
And it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. So it's great community support, a whole lot of grant writing,
So let me
and
ask
just
you
a
this
team of
question.
passionate
Let me
people.
stop you right there.
Sure.
How many programs do you actually oversee
Oh my gosh.
for this museum?
Oh, I don't really have a number in my head. It changes all the
Just
time.
guesstimation. Just guesstimation. Is it 5 a year?
Oh,
10 a year?
It's-
15? 20?
probably around 20 or more, I'm sure.
Wow.
So even more, for sure more.
And these are all programs that you put together, basically, and kind of spearheaded?
Well, I'm inspired by the people who came before me. I've worked under some really great directors, Caroline Kennedy, Julie Rose, and now Angelique Bajeron, who they're just such great supporters and mentors. And and I'm also inspired by the local history and culture, but then all the exhibits here at the museum. We have a 6-acre campus, so that's 6 acres of inspiration. I started out as an art educator in the classroom, which I dearly loved, but now my classroom is this entire 6-acre campus and beyond because we interpret the history of West Baton Rouge Parish, but also of the region, southeast region of Louisiana as a whole. And with all the permanent exhibits we have on the campus, as well as every changing exhibit that comes in.
It's got to be a lot.
It's so much fun. I've been here 28 years, and I still feel like a brand new employee because every changing exhibit brings new opportunities. I learn things every time a new show comes, and that's so much fun. And they just spark things where we can partner with artists in the community or historians in the community. We do things from lectures with professors to bus trips to movie screenings to concerts to festivals to workshops. We want to continue the art of the trade. We're big into preserving our culture and tradition.
So let me ask you this question, just with listening to some of that. What do you call a partnership? What does that look like? When you say I have a partnership with Joe Blow. What does it look like?
I'm so informal. I'm sure there's an official meaning for partnership with paperwork, but I'm just like, hey, do you want to collaborate? Like with you, Mr. Henry. We have this Blues After School program. You're one of the great mentors in this area. Would you come talk to this group of middle and high school kids, inspire them, tell them that they can make it as a career in the future? It's a viable thing, and you come out. So I consider that a partnership.
So these are your community partners, not just partnerships.
Yeah, right. And then, I guess it also goes down to, for instance, the next traveling exhibit to come through is on Billie Holiday. Ooh, and it's from the Smithsonian. Yay.
Right.
But I feel like we're partnering with the Smithsonian in a way because they have, deemed us worthy to have their exhibit. And we're partnering with the National World War II Museum because they're bringing in a show. So partnership comes in so many forms and fashions, whether it is something with signed paperwork or if it's a collaboration down the
So
street.
that leads me to this, because when you say the word museum, right, it can just mean so much to so many different people in so many different ways. And I just heard you talk about partnerships from the Smithsonian to an individual musician in the community. And I mean, all of this under the banner of museum. How does it tie in? How does it work?
Because it's our job, our curators work hard to make visual representations of our culture, our history, our humanity, our art. And so my department's job, for example, is to bring those things to life. Kind of, the shows on their own are definitely enough to bring in crowds, but some people think they're not museum people. Everybody's a museum person, whether they know it or not, but if we offer some form of entertainment or a lecture that's interesting, and you have to kind of plan things from the small child to the senior citizen, from the frivolous to the intellectual, and that way you can kind of reach, hopefully, everybody in your community to know that everybody's welcome here, and museums are for everybody. They're not these, stuffy places that, or please don't touch. We even offer workshops in our barn. We have a demonstration barn here where there's awesome demonstrations, but you can also come here and take courses to learn how to blacksmith or spin and weave or do woodworking with antique hand tools. We have built cigar box guitars, as one example.
I saw one in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was built right here.
Right here.
So, that leads me to another part of, community interaction and artisans and so forth and their participation. I've become very big on lecture demonstration.
Love it.
Lecture demonstration. Because I think ultimately for a community to show them a finished product and somebody say, wow. But then if you say, let me show you how to do that.
Yes.
Now you take it to another level.
It
because
really.
you plant the seed.
Yep.
That you too could do this. All you had to do is follow instructions. I mean, how do you deal with that in terms of, do you get enough of that, or you think you don't have enough of that?
We thrive on that. The former art teacher in me, what you just said makes me so happy. It's got to be hands-on or interactive in some capacity because, people learn in so many different ways. Some people to see it or hear it is enough, but some people need to see it, hear it, and do it. And I think that just reinforces the experience and the knowledge that you gain. And hopefully, anytime you come to our museum or any other museum, you leave thinking about it and wanting to learn more. So it wasn't just like, I saw a picture and I left,
So I got one final question.
What's that?
So let's say you're talking to a 19-year-old that just got into college, and they're looking up to you as a mentor, and they say, wow, I love what you're doing. This is incredible, and you're thinking in my mind, what questions are they going to have for me? What's going to come next? And then they hit you with the big question. How do I get involved with something like this? What do I do? What's the path? And, now that you've had 28 years of being beat up with it and successes with it, and, you're thinking, I got to tell this person something that will impact them positively and at least make somewhat of a simple version to where they can see where they can start. What do you say to them?
Network, volunteer. It's, this wasn't what I thought I was going to be when I grew up. And I'm very shy. I don't know if you know that, but I'm super shy. But you just have to jump out and try things differently. I always knew I had a passion for art and creativity. And I love to surround myself with creatives. But that's a tough field to be in. It's an amazing and rewarding field to be in. But I think because it's such a small field, network, reach out. Just don't be afraid, put yourself out there and volunteer, because lots of times volunteering, you're just like meeting people, and showing your worth. And then, when those rare opportunities come along, somebody knows you and they're familiar with your work ethic and your passion. Passion is so important in detail. Like, be thorough, be detailed, and love what you do. We love all the artists that come through here and the folk artists. I've learned so much about Louisiana history through just so many people, and it's not just like a 9 to 5 job. You need to like keep those connections going, follow up with those people. I've had coffee with Mr. Bill Tippett, the broom maker, and his wife. He's long since gone, but he was one of the treasurers of West Baton Rouge Parish. And it's not just, it's a calling. Make sure what you want to do in life, it's your calling. We work so much, we have to love it.
That is a lot of cool information to give somebody, because that would definitely open up their mind and get them thinking, So now you've heard it from the best. You've heard it from Jeannie, and she's given a super overview on programming and how it works and so forth. And it's an amazing conversation about that. Thank you so much. Baton Rouge, come on. Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge. It is the capital city that nobody can refuse.
Hi, it's Eddie Cool. Keep watching Henry Tunnel Listening Room.